All right, so we got some information today on our prismatic subclasses that are going to be coming to the final shape. This is super exciting, probably the most excited or most hyped I've been for the game in a long time. So I'm going to cover all three subclasses. I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. I've seen a lot of talk already. People are saying, well, this is just going to power creep, the core subclasses out of the game. What's the point of even playing any other subclass? It's just going to be broken. Look, it seems to me like Bungie kind of knows what they're doing with their balancing act here, because you're only going to have access to a certain number of abilities and aspects and supers from each subclass. So it's not like you're going to be able to do the same things that you are currently able to do with some of the broken core exclusive Titan builds that you'll be able to do with Prismatic Titan. Prismatic Titan was probably going to offer a whole lot of other possibilities, and it'll probably be broken in its own way, and we'll discover that when the final shape comes out or when more information comes out. But for now, I just want to touch on a couple of things and put your mind to rest that you're not going to have to take all your core builds, all your favorite builds, and throw them in the trash can, because Prismatic is just going to power creep everything out of the game. I don't think it's going to be like that at all. So with Prismatic Titan, we have access to 5 supers. We're going to have the all-new Void super, Twilight Arsenal, as well as the all-new Void aspect, Unbreakable, which I don't really know anything about. I know Twilight Arsenal is that one where it's kind of like a roaming ranged super that also gives your team support. They can pick up the axes and throw them and stuff like that. You're going to have Thunder Crash, so you have a burst super. You have Blade Fury. You have Hammer of Saul. And then you've got Glacial Quake. You've also got access to all of the class abilities, including Thruster. And then you get 5 melees, 5 grenades, and 5 aspects. That's it. So it's just up to what Bungie decided to put in the kit for Prismatic Titan here. So we've got Shield Throw, so no Seismic Strike, or Shield Bash, I should say. We've got Thunderclap, no Seismic Strike, no Ballistic Slam. We've got Frenzied Blade. We've got Hammer Strike, so no bonk, no hammer. And then we've got Shiver Strike, of course. It's, the Darkness subclasses still only have 1 melee ability. For grenades, we've got Suppressor Grenades, so no Broken Vortex Grenades. We've got Pulse Grenades, which are the best arc grenade, arguably. And then we've got Shackle Grenades, so no Grapple Melee. We've got Thermite Grenades, no Healing Grenade. We've got Glacier Grenade. So, and then as far as aspect goes, we've got, like I said, the new Void one. We've got Knockout, so we can get some healing back on those melee kills. We've got Dranger's Lash if we want to enhance our Barricade for Suspend. We've got Consecration. Oh man, so Solar's looking pretty rough as part of the Prismatic kit here. We've got no Soul Invictus, no Roaring Flames ×3, no Throwing Hammer, no Healing Grenade, no Pyro Gale style of super, and we've got the worst aspect that there is available for Solar Titan. And then we've got Diamond Lance, which is okay. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, we could speculate all day on what kind of combinations that we can throw together here to make broken builds. And like I said, providing we know more information, we can speculate further on that. But I'm not really going to do that here. I will cover quickly the Transcendent ability, because as you can see here, and if you saw the video they put out yesterday, as you get kills with light and dark, it builds up this meter, which converges to the middle. And once both those bars are full and meet in the middle, I guess you get a kind of a mini super ability, which is in a grenade kind of format. And so Titan has this electrified snare ability for their Transcendence, which says here, throw an explosive device energized with strand matter and arc energy that detonates in a supercharged suspending burst. Suspended targets take heavy damage over time and chains jolting lightning to any nearby targets. So this is pretty cool. Like, you can just like suspend a champion and they're just going to be sitting there jolting away, ad clearing all the enemies around them. While they can't do anything, sounds pretty cool. It also sounds that these transcendent abilities are going to be something that you might want to lean into with the prismatic subclasses, depending on what subclass. So for Titan, being that this revolves around strand and arc, suspend and jolt, it may mean that it will benefit you more to play on a prismatic Titan build that leans into strand and arc more so than some of the other abilities that we've got available on the prismatic Titan kit, right? Kind of like in the same way where if you're on the core strand Titan build, a suspend build, like you're going to lean, say you're using Drenger's Lash and Abeyant Leaps, then you're going to lean heavily into suspend grenades as opposed to threadling grenades, right? Like every subclass gives you the opportunity to kind of do whatever you want with it, but it rewards you more for leaning into these certain powerful aspects of that subclass, right? So it's seeming to me like the transcendent ability is going to be a feature that you might want to build into and synergize with to really capitalize your gains with the build and your mods and everything like that. So why do I think this is not going to affect the core builds, and why do I think this, it probably sounds like it's going to be balanced, and Bungie probably considered this, and they obviously, I don't think they want our core builds to just go by the wayside either. I think they want us to experiment with all of the subclasses and prismatic and make do what we want. So some of the core Titan exclusive builds, just to list as an example here, that are basically going to be unaffected and impossible to even match with prismatic Titan, right? So all of the world records that are being set with the speed runs and everything for boss damage on Banner of War Titan using grapple melee, not possible. Not possible on prismatic. Maybe it'll be possible in some other kind of manifestation through the prismatic kit, but you will not be able to grapple melee. And you're not going to be able to have Banner of War or Into the Fray for Woven Mail. So that build does not exist within prismatic, which means that the strongest build in the game currently is still going to be the strongest inside of the core strand kit. We've got pulse grenades on prismatic, which you might think, oh, that's great, but we don't have Touch of Thunder. So we don't have Touch of Thunder pulse grenades. So these are just plain old pulse grenades that you can use right now on any subclass in the game. Without Touch of Thunder, you're not getting those ionic traces, you're not getting the extended duration, you're not getting the damage ramp up. There's a lot of Arc Titan builds that specifically build around Touch of Thunder grenades and pulse grenades. That's not going to exist in prismatic. Like I already kind of went over with Solar Titan, Sunbreaker, like basically all of the Solar Titan builds that currently exist, you're not going to get that in prismatic. There's no Soul Invictus, there's no Roaring Flames ×3 for the insane damage. So you don't have the insane ability damage, you don't have the survivability, the restoration, the ability uptime from Soul Invictus, and you don't have your throwing hammer, right? So you're still going to be encouraged to play Sunbreaker at its core. And you could even make the argument for Stasis, like for Behemoth as well, because a lot of Behemoth revolves around shattering crystals and spamming stasis shards, right? Like Behemoth can make more stasis shards than any other subclass, and you can really build into it with like elemental charge and having constant armor charge from range, and Whisper of Rhyme for your overshields and your health. That build is not going to exist inside of prismatic either. So I look forward to seeing what prismatic is really going to offer, and contemplating what kind of combinations that you could do with that. But this video is just more so to focus what Bungie just kind of gave us, and to maybe put some of those worries about like all of your favorite builds being power crept out of the game. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one, which is going to be I'm going to put out one for Warlock and one for Hunter, so be sure to stick around. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do so. It'd help me out a great deal, and leave a comment. I'll see you in the next one.